John 9:40-41. Et audierunt ex Pharisais, qui cum ipso erant, et dixerunt ei, numquid et nos caeci sumus? Dixit eis Iesus, si caeci ascetis non haberetis peccatum, nunc vero dicitis quia videmus, peccatum vestrum manet. And some who were with him from the Pharisees heard, and they said to him, "What? Are we also blind?" Jesus said to them, "If you were blind, you would not have sin, but now you say that we see, your sin remains." These verses give us Jesus's quite devastating reply and judgment on the character of the Pharisees and the Jewish leaders of his time, that they are spiritually blind. And this is sort of the climax of the whole story of the man born blind and his interview with the Pharisees and then his interactions with Jesus. So some of those, so literally those who were with him from the Pharisees, in English we would say, some of those Pharisees who were with him heard what he had said and said to him, numquid, we've said before, is really sort of untranslatable, but I like what some English translations do. They sort of give it a little bit of tone of outrage here. What? What are you saying? Are we also blind? They're quite surprised. They want to know his answer to this question. They're wondering, is he directly confronting us here? Is he talking about us again? And Jesus said to them, "Si caeci ascetis non haberetis peccatum." This is a really nice classic example of a particular kind of conditional sentence. And in this case, what we've got is a contrary to fact or contrafactual condition in the present tense. Okay, so this is a kind of conditional sentence, as we've said before, that you use when you want to indicate what is not actually a current state of affairs. So if you were blind, and the implication is you're not, you would not have sin. And the implication is, but you do, because you aren't blind, at least according to yourselves. You claim to be people who can see. So what we've got here in both cases is the imperfect subjunctive, and that's the present part, okay? If we made these pluperfect subjunctives, we'd be shifting the whole construction to the past. It'd be something like, if you had been blind, you would not have been guilty of sin. But we don't have that. We have the present. If you were now blind, you would not be guilty of sin. And habere with an object here reflects the underlying Greek as so often. But, vero with strong adversative force here, but now you say that, and we might put this in single quotation marks because he's attributing this thought or idea to the Pharisees. Now you say, notice plural by the way, you all say that we see, we can see, we are sighted people. But he says, because you claim that, and this follows as a logical consequence, your sin remains. That is to say, it remains on your own heads. It's not forgiven. It's not forgotten. It is a cause of judgment, coming judgment, in fact, because you claim you can see, and yet you cannot. Therefore, you will be held responsible.